When I was your age, there was no space program. So I always liked airplanes and things. I built, in those days, we built airplanes out of balsa wood and stuck them together with glue and flew them around the house and knocked our mother's dishes off and around. But the space program, I was out of college before our first space flight. So it really wasn't. When I was your age, it wasn't a thing that we were yet doing. Even the Russians hadn't flown yet either.
Jay, we've got a big queue here now, so John is the leader.
All right, John, way to go, John.
Oh, you have to speak up.
Really loud.
Yeah, speak up.
Yeah,
I'm old. I'm hard of hearing.
Hello, my name is Jay.
Hi, Jay.
What was your favourite part of being part of
The favorite part for me was to see a successful mission. That the crew went off, did what they had been trained to do, ground support them in the ways they've been trained to support, and then at the end the mission was successful. Always was reporting. The last mission was just as important to me as the first one. So,
Hello, my name is Alicia.
Alicia.
Did you have to wear any set uniform, or were you allowed to wear your own clothes?
We weren't fortunate enough to have our uniform. So uniform basically was a blue sport coat with a pair of gray slacks.
Hello, I'm Stuart.
Good, how are you?
Can I just say you're a massive inspiration to me? And can I just ask, of all your missions that you've been the director, been part of, this ground crew, which one would you say is your prime, your highest point?
Of course, all the lunar landings were the first Skylab that launched without a crew, and it had a big problem, and then we had to train the crew to go fly and fix the problem, which we were able to do, and obviously that was a highlight, being able to basically save the Skylab mission was hugely important. And I think the mission we flew with the Russians, the joint mission that we flew with the Russians, because it was in 1975, which was the middle of basically the middle of the Cold War in those days. Yeah. And the Russian flight control team and ours worked together to conduct just an awesome mission, and we still, I believe, you can ask Mike, but I believe we still are getting the benefits of that early mission today in our relationship with the Russian space people.
Thank you.
Nothing.
I just wanted to ask, when you landed on the moon, how would you describe the moon?
Jay didn't land on the moon. But he was in mission control when the astronauts landed on the moon. Sorry.
Hello, my name's Kaylee.
Okay.
What advice would you give to anyone who wants to be a part of the space industry?
Well, study hard. As we talked earlier, develop your ability to work well with people. Be a good teammate and a contributing teammate. Get some outside activities that demonstrate you're not somebody that wants to sit in the corner and do bookwork. And some of the best members of the astronaut office that we've had, had applied multiple times before they ever made it through the process. So, I mean, anytime you apply, you're applying against a group of people that are really competent. So if you don't happen to make it through the first time, don't give up. Yeah, you know. The other thing, yeah, the other thing am I still on?
Yeah, you are.
Yeah. The other thing I was gonna point out to them is, at their age, they're coming along at a great, excuse me just a minute. Let me meet you down there. Okay. You're coming along at an optimum time to be part of a really exciting phase of our space program. Right now, NASA is kind of waiting to get some things developed, some launch vehicles and some spacecraft that will become operational missions about the time you folks should enter the workforce after you finish your schooling and starting to have some job opportunities. Will be about the time things like missions to Mars and missions hopefully back to the moon and other things will begin to appear, if you will, in our space world. And so you're coming along at a great time to if you study hard, work hard, study hard, and get all your abilities lined up, it'll be just the right time for you to kind of become the next Mike Fole and go represent your country in space. And I'm sorry, you can ask your question.
Hi, I'm James. Looking back on it now, if you got the choice, would you have chosen to be in or out of ground control during the Apollo 13?
Oh, you couldn't. That's an opportunity. No one who had the opportunity to be there would on the second choice not do it. It was a great time. It was a very rewarding time professionally. It was a very emotional time and worked out well.
Thank you.
Good morning, Jay. I'm Sam.
That's Sam.
What do you say to people who say that the moon landing never happened?
Well, I get that all the time, and my simple answer to that is we were hardly smart enough to do it. We damn sure weren't smart enough to fake it.
Hello, I'm Caleb.
This is the last question, Jay.
When you applied and you were accepted, what sort of training did you have to do to be able
in the early days, you did space flight experience, whether it was on the ground or in the air, didn't exist because there hadn't been any. So basically, what we started with was a bunch of engineers who were fortunate enough to be in on the ground floor of learning how to do space flight because after a while in shuttle we flew flights that were somewhat like some of the previous flights. Early on in Mercury, Gemini, and Apollo, Skylab, and Apollo Soyuz were in the early shuttles were all things that had never been done before. So we just kind of learned it as we went, and that was sort of the reason that the missions were structured such that they were, which were small steps going to the moon, and then because it allowed the people in the air and the people on the ground to develop the skills and the experience to be comfortable that the lunar landing could be pulled off.
Right, Jay?